Hospital in the Forest. It was the autumn of 1905. Albert Schweitzer, a tall young man of 31, picked up a journal from his desk and started to turn the pages. His attention was at once attracted by an article. It described the miserable conditions of poverty and disease in which the natives of equatorial West Africa were living at that time. A large number of Africans lived in humid forest and had no shelter of any kind. They had very little food. Often they got nothing to eat for many days. Thousands of Africans died of disease in the forest every year. The article made an urgent appeal to young doctors to go to West Africa and help the natives in their suffering. Schweitzer was deeply moved. He at once made up his mind to become a medical missionary. At that time, Schweitzer was working as the principal of a theological college at Strasbourg University, then in Germany, now in France. He immediately talked of his plan to Helen Breslau, with whom he was in love, and whom he wished to marry. She was the daughter of one of the professors at the university. Schweitzer told her that he intended to build at his own expense a hospital at Lambaréné. It was a place on the banks of the Ogua River, in the heart of thick forest of Gabon. Helen, who was herself a nurse, was amazed. "But Albert, you have no knowledge of medicine," she said. "You will have to qualify as a doctor before you can become a medical missionary." "I know, and that's what I'm going to do," said Schweitzer, who had already obtained 3 degrees in philosophy, theology, and music. Helen pointed out all the difficulties that he would have to face. But, seeing that Schweitzer was unshakable, she said softly, "All right, Albert, I'll help you with your work. If you allow, I'll go to Africa with you." For the next 6 years, Schweitzer was again a student. He worked very hard, and at the age of 36 obtained his degree in medicine, which was his 4th degree. He was now a qualified doctor and surgeon. Then he married Helen, who had been his source of inspiration all along. While Schweitzer studied medicine, he also continued his work as the principal of the theological college. In addition, he wrote some books and took part in concerts in order to save money for his missionary work. Some of his friends also came forward with gifts for his hospital. Schweitzer had now enough money for his mission. All preparations were made by February 1913. Schweitzer and his wife, Helen, sailed for West Africa, taking with them 70 cases of medical supplies. 2 months later, they reached Port Gentil at the mouth of the Ogu River. They were now almost on the equator, and the heat was intolerable. From there, they took a steamer up the Ogu River to reach Lambaréné. It was a terrible journey of 200 miles through thick forest. What a country! Trees, trees everywhere. No wonder there is so much sickness, thought Schweitzer. At Lambaréné, Schweitzer was able to get a very old wooden bungalow. Nobody lived there. It had become the home of vermin. Both the husband and wife swept and scrubbed the bungalow and made it into a well-equipped dispensary. Then they changed an old boat house by the river into a sick bay. Finally, they patched up and whitewashed a tumble-down chicken house to serve as a consulting room.